Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing some more Pokemon trading card game online. I'm going to be going over the 3 decks that I believe will have a very strong showing after this 2021 rotation. Alright, so let's go ahead and get right into it. So coming in at number 3 will be Zashi V deck. The Zashi V has been around and has had a very strong showing already with Arceus Dialga and Palkia GX. But all of the Sun and Moon cards are going to be going away after this next rotation. It's going to be changing up a lot of things. However, Zashi V is already very strong on its own. The Intrepid Sword ability allows you to consistently attach metal energy and draw cards, and Brave Blade still does a lot of metal damage. And most of the metal support that has been seen in the Zashi decks has come from Sword and Shield. So I think there's a lot of options still available with Zashi V, even though Arceus Dialga and Palkia will be gone. You won't be able to use Jirachi, unfortunately, but you still, obviously, like I said, with the Intrepid Sword ability, have options to find trainer cards, and you have the new Amazing Star Jirachi, which is relatively similar to the old one. The other card that could back up Zashi V is this Galarian Berserker, which came on the same set as Zashi V, the Sword and Shield set. It's a pretty basic card. It's a stage 1 Pokemon that evolves from Galarian Meowth. Steely Spirit attack, or ability, boosts your metal Pokemon's attacks by 20 damage. So just having one of these out gives your Zashi V the potential to knock out some Pokemon V that could be rather threatening. And if you can manage to get out multiple, the damage can increase to 250, 270, 290, or even 310 damage. Now, evolutions are a little tricky to get out, so fortunately, Galarian Berserker has this Galarian Meowth from Rebel Clash, which has the Evolution Roar ability. You must discard 2 cards from your hand in order to use this ability, but when you do that, you can search your deck for Galarian Berserker, reveal it, and put it into your hand. This makes it easy to get Galarian Berserker, and the discard may seem like a disadvantage, but it actually could help you, because if you combine it with Metal Saucer, which attaches metal energy from your discard pile to your benched metal Pokemon, it could actually result in a pretty awesome combo. There's definitely not a shortage of metal type attackers for that metal deck. Zashi has already seen a little bit of play at Arceus Dialga Palkia deck, but I believe that it could be even stronger after this rotation. The Sonic Edge attack is pretty helpful. It can cut through attacks like Galarian Obstagoon, which prevents damage from basic Pokemon. It does 130 damage and isn't affected by any effects on your opponent's active Pokemon, which allows you to go through any damage reduction or damage prevention or any other effects that might be stopping you from getting that damage in. Zamazenta V will be sticking around alongside Zashi V, and its Dauntless Shield's attack will be more powerful than it has ever been before. It prevents all damage done to it by attacks from your opponent's Pokemon VMAX. In the past, the opponent has had Pokemon GX and Tag Team Pokemon that can go through Zamazenta V, but now it will just be Vs and VMAX Pokemon that will be the heavy hitters. So Dauntless Shield can be really strong, and we've definitely seen an increase in special energy play after the Sword and Shield sets have been released, so Assault Tackle may actually see a bit more play, dealing 130 damage and discarding special energy from your opponent's active Pokemon. With plenty of other helpful Sword and Shield cards, Professor's Research will be sticking around and can easily be played in just about any deck. It's super simple. You discard your hand and draw 7 cards, so this will be a great way to draw cards. You also have access to Marnie as well, so there's still plenty of draw options and great supporters to be used in all of these decks. Inteleon VMAX was a pretty powerful card already, and was, I believe, Tord Rekov used it to the best of its ability in the Players' Cup 2, I believe. It may have been the first one, actually. But it was released in Rebel Clash, and it has some pretty disruptive attacks. Hydro-Snipe for 1 water energy does 60 damage and puts an energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon into your hand. I think this will be the number 2 deck, because it has the max bullet attack, which can deal some damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. 60 damage, which we've seen a lot more use of that, of those 1 price Pokemon, which tend to have smaller amounts of health. So I think the max bullet attack can really get down there and wipe out some of the smaller Pokemon. The Hydro Snipe attack actually doesn't specify special energy and basic energy, so If your opponent, like I said, has a special energy, which we've seen a lot more of, you can use this Hydro Snipe to put it back into their hand. So that can be pretty handy. And Max Bullet actually does 160 damage to the opponent's active Pokemon, as well as that 60 to the bench, so it can be a really heavy hitter. Inteleon V also is a pretty neat card. Snipe Shot does 40 damage on one of your opponent's Pokemon, so once again you can snipe some of those smaller Pokemon down on the bench. And Aqua Port does 130 damage and makes your opponent reveal their hand, which could be a pretty helpful advantage. Now, one of the reasons I think Inteleon VMAX would be so powerful is because if you look at the weakness, it's Lightning. And in my opinion, the Lightning cards haven't been super great from Sword and Shield besides Volt and V. And Volt and V is a pretty great card, but on its own it's not much. With its buddy Pikachu Zekrom, it can do a lot of damage, but Pikachu and Zekrom and lots of other Lightning support are going to be rotating out when all the Sword and Shield cards go away. Pikachu and Zekrom, Raichu and Lord Raichu, the Dedenne GX, and some of those other cards that were really helpful in the Lightning deck won't be around anymore, so you won't have to worry about this weakness on Inteleon VMAX. Lapras V was also played in Tord Reklev's Inteleon VMAX deck, and it's a pretty awesome card. The VMAX is great, but I think Lapras V on its own, just a single copy, can be a pretty great help. So Body Surf allows you to attach a Water Energy card from your hand to Lapras and switch it from your bench with one of your bench Pokemon. It's an interesting attack, doesn't do any damage, but I guess in the right scenario it could be crucial. Ocean Loop is what Lapras is really in there for. 200 damage, and it puts 2 Water Energy attached to a Pokemon into your hand. Now this is a pretty strong attack, it dishes out a lot of damage, but it does require a lot of energy. So how are you going to get that energy out? The answer to that is definitely Frostmoth. Its Ice Dance ability allows you to attach Water Energy from your hand to your bench Pokemon as often as you like during your turn. So it easily loads up Inteleon VMAX, so you can get that Max Bullet going nice and quick. And then Lapras V is a pretty great combo with this. You can attach all that Water Energy to it, and then when it dishes out that 200 damage, the Water Energy goes right back to your hand, so you're not losing all of it if Lapras gets knocked out the next turn. Capacious Bucket goes wonderfully with Frostmoth. It allows you to search your deck for up to 2 Water Energy cards, reveal them, and put them into your hand. This is a great way to get Water Energy out from your deck easily, and with Frostmoth it can be attached right onto the bench. It's an item card, and with 4 copies of this in your deck, you could potentially find 8 Water Energy in one turn, which could easily set up all of your water Pokemon very quickly. Don't forget about some of those other smaller item cards like Quick Ball, which allows you to find some of your setup Pokemon very easily, allowing you to do that at the cost of discarding a card from your hand. This is a great card, it has seen 4 copies in most decks, so it will be sticking around for later use. You can also use Switch still, and lots of other trainer cards. Crushing Hammer, I know, is a popular one for Inteleon decks, so lots of these trainer cards will be sticking around, so you don't have to worry about those going away. Coming in at number 1, I believe that Galarian Ursula is going to be a very strong card. It's already really annoying and was one of my least favorite cards to play against. It's super annoying. So Gnawing Aura ability puts 3 damage counters on your opponent whenever they attach an energy card from your hand to one of your Pokemon, as long as Galarian Ursula is in the active spot. And Hollow Missile just keeps adding those damage counters of 60 damage to the active and 3 damage counters on your opponent's bench Pokemon any way you like. Galarian Ursula is very strong on its own, but there's lots of other psychic support that can make a very well-rounded psychic deck. Let's take a look. Underworld Door reminds me a lot of Malamar from Forbidden Light, Sun and Moon. The ability, once during your turn you may attach a psychic energy card from your hand to one of your bench psychic Pokemon. If you attach energy to a Pokemon this way, you get to draw 2 cards. It's pretty broken in my opinion, because there's lots of easy ways to find energy with just a simple energy search card. Use that to find energy from your deck, and then you can attach it from your hand to one of your bench psychic Pokemon and draw 2 cards. And that doesn't count as your energy attachment for the turn, so there's a lot more energy to be attached, especially if you get multiple of these KORX VMAX out. Max Geist only looks like it does 10 damage, but there is that plus sign. The attack does 30 more damage for each psychic energy attached to all of your Pokemon. And with Underworld Door, you can really crank that psychic energy out, so that Max Geist attack can really add up and do a ton of damage. Along with some of those other staples like Quick Ball and Professor's Research, the Air Balloon card will be sticking around. It's a Pokemon tool that, when attached to one of your Pokemon, removes its retreat cost, well, for most Pokemon, at least. It takes away 2 of these energy symbols in the retreat cost. So most Pokemon don't have more than 2 in the retreat cost, at least most Pokemon that are being played in the format right now. So Air Balloon can practically give them free retreat, which is a great way to switch out your Pokemon. It'll be sticking around. You can run up to 4 in your deck, so this is a great card to include and can really help move around some of your Pokemon if one's injured in the active spot and needs to go down to the bench for a little while. Big Charm is another helpful Pokemon tool card that, when attached to your Pokemon, gives it 30 plus HP. If you're pointing your deck for other popular decks in the format, this can be a really helpful one, because if maybe your Pokemon has 270 HP and you know Eternatus is going to come in and wipe it out in one shot, you can just simply put this on there and it takes Eternatus 1 extra turn to knock out your Pokemon, which is pretty great. So all of these Pokemon tool cards and trainer cards are going to be sticking around, at least those from the Sword and Shield series. But personally, I haven't really seen any use of ones from the Sun and Moon series, so that's pretty awesome that those are the ones going away and not these Sword and Shield ones. If you guys enjoyed this video of me going over the decks that I believe will become the meta after the 2021 rotation. Rotation is closing in fast, so I would recommend getting started on your decks to plan out which ones you're going to be playing. I know I'm already starting to work on my Zashi V one. I'm excited to play that. I don't have quite all of the cards for the Psychic deck though, so I don't know if I'll be interested in playing that at all. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss new videos when they're uploaded. I upload every Monday and Thursday. And leave me a comment down below. Do you think these decks will be a strong showing after the rotation, or do you think that they may just not show up at all? And if you think that they're not going to show up at all, let me know which decks you think you will be seeing in the future. Well, that's going to be all from me today. Hope to see you guys next time. Goodbye.